The purpose of this short tutorial is to discuss how Excel handles basic dates inside worksheets and workbooks. Now, the most simple way to use a date is if you have a date and you want it to appear as the current date every time that you open a worksheet. Most people are drawn to enter the current date that they created it, but Excel gives us a formula for doing that. We can enter it by saying equal today, parenthesis, and that gives us the current date. The date that I'm making this video is January 30th, 2009. If I open this worksheet then tomorrow, it will show me January 31st, 2009, and so on and so forth. Now, the interesting thing about Excel is that the way it stores dates behind the scenes is actually as a counting number. I've clicked on that particular cell, and I'm going to move my display up a little bit so you can see what I'm looking at here. And now I'm going to change that date so I see it as a number rather than as a date. And notice I get a counting number for that. That happens with all dates. Excel treats January 1st, 1900 as the very first day of its time sequence. January 2nd, 1900 is day 2. January 3rd, 1900 is day 3. So on and so forth up to today, which is counting as 39,843. Now, since Excel uses numbers or uses dates as counting numbers, we can do mathematical operations with them. For instance, in this case, if I know today's date and I know someone's birth date, I can calculate out what their age is. Now, remember, each of these are a counting number in a given sequence. So if I take today's date and subtract out someone's birthday, that will render to me the number of days that that person has been alive. If I then divide that by 365 days, which is the standard number of days in a year, I will get their I will get their age as a real number. So let's try it. So I'm here in cell C4. I want to calculate this first person's age. So I'm going to enter a simple formula that says equal. I'm going to do a parenthesis so that it makes sure it does this subtraction of days before the division. I'm going to say take today's date and absolute that because I always want to point to that date, and say minus the person's birthday. Close my parenthesis and divide by 365. Okay. And now if I copy that down, it calculates everyone's dates. Now in a future video, we're going to look at how do we actually get that into an age-appropriate thing. Most people don't say they're 43.89. But for the purposes of this lesson, that's how you use dates. Number one, to get the current date, it's today, parenthesis, parenthesis, and to calculate someone's age, you take the current date minus their date of birth, do that whole subtraction first, and then divide by 365.